Hello, Cancer, and welcome to this, your July 2024 reading and predictions. Let's dive right in. Today, we are going to take a look at where you are at now. We're going to look at your difficult influences and challenges. We're going to look at what you're focusing on manifesting. We're going to take a look at what is unexpected, messages from the universe. So let's get this show on the road, shall we? Let's take a look. All right, Cancers, what do we have here? Hmm. It seems like you are being challenged in some way right now. It's as though every which way you turn, you're feeling like you are a little bit at war, like you are on a different page from those people around you. And as much as it feels right to you and it feels true to you, you feel like you are following your own intuition and internal compass. Other people are challenging you. So, the very first card in your reading is the Karma card. The Karma card is the card of judgment here. It corresponds to the Judgment card from the Major Arcana of the more traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. And most of the time when the judgment card comes up, it's about sitting in judgment of ourselves. But intuitively, psychically, what I'm feeling for you, Cancer, is that this is less about you sitting in judgment of yourself and more about you feeling like you are being judged for the choices and decisions that you're making. The reason that I'm saying that this interpretation is kind of being turned on its ear right now is that the next two cards that you have coming out is the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands can be viewed as a celebratory card. Wow, there's a lot of noise going on outside my windows here, so I don't know whether the mic's picking that up. I hope it's not. Okay, the Eight of Wands over here can sometimes be viewed as a celebratory card, but most of the time it's interpreted as if people are pointing their wands at you and questioning the choices and decisions that you are making. And the Nine of Wands, you'll notice the character's posture and so on. It is a very defensive posture, as if they are, getting ready to go into a battle, like they have to defend themselves against something or someone. So, where you're at now, yeah, I want to say that you've awakened to some kind of new realization. You're making some new, different, more healthy choices for yourself. You're following your own internal compass and your intuition. And there are people who are not on board with the choices and decisions you're making for yourself. And so they're challenging you. Is that all bad? No, not necessarily. The last card in where you are at now here is the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups brings in a sense of newness, a sense of naivety, a sense of let's try something new. It also is the Page of Cups is ruled by the element of water, and therefore it affects our emotions. So, whatever it is that you are going through is new, it's novel, it's not something that you've experienced before, but it's also not a bad thing. Now, most of the time, when we are feeling like we are being challenged, when we feel like we are being judged with cards like this coming out, we can perceive that as being a negative. And yet, this Page of Cups coming in at the very end is asking you, instead of viewing this as a negative, view it as a learning. It's a lesson. It's something that you need to go through in order to continue your growth, your spiritual growth, your growth. Oh, that's a big one. Yeah. Coming in, your growth of boundaries. I get the sense that a lot of this, especially with the Eight and Nine of Wands coming out here, that this is about you having set some new boundaries for yourself, and the people around you don't like the new boundaries that you've set for yourself. And so it's emotional, and there's some emotional turmoil coming up for you. But the emotional turmoil that's coming up, you're also recognizing it's good, it's healthy, you're processing it, you're working through it, and you have that perspective that the people that are challenging you are coming from where you used to be. And so there's more acceptance on your part. Is it emotional? Is it a little bit difficult at times? Can it feel a little bit hurtful? Absolutely. But when you can see the bigger picture, Cancer, when you can see that they are coming from a place of not understanding the growth that you have done, the lessons that you have learned, the boundaries the healthy boundaries you're now setting for yourself, um, when you can see that they're coming from a limited purview and you're seeing the bigger picture, there's acceptance in that, acceptance of self. And I really feel like that's where you're at here at the end of June as we're moving into the month of July. So let's dive into what you are focusing on. We know that where you put your attention, your thoughts, eventually creates your reality, especially if it is linked to your emotions. So let's see what you are working on manifesting. We have three cards that have, oh no, four, two of them were stuck together. Okay, we've got the Page of Wands, another page coming out here. So there is a sense of naivety coming up for you, and the Nine of Wands is coming up for you again as well. There are a lot of wands coming out for you right now, Cancer. The wands are ruled by the element of fire. The element of fire is all about taking action in our lives, making the big moves, shifts, and changes to affect change, not only in our own lives, but in our own little worlds and in the greater community as well. So, we have the Page of Wands here. We moved from the Page of Cups over here, excuse me, to the Page of Wands, indicating that you are intended to be taking action at this time, even if you can't see or fully visualize what the outcome is. And I do want to say, everything here that I'm seeing is more about your personal growth and your personal healing, as opposed to this reading turning into a financial reading or a specific relationship reading or anything like that. I'm really, really sensing here, Cancer, that July, based on the cards that I'm seeing, July for you is going to be all about your personal development and your personal healing. I also want to point out something else that just came up for me with all of these cards that are coming in. First of all, you have two pages that have come in, and you've also got the Nine of Wands coming in twice. So I want you to pay really, really close attention to the 9th and the 10th of July. I get the sense something big is probably going to come up for you around the 9th or the 10th of July. The other number that I want you to watch out for is 4. And the reason is that you had 4 cards jump out for where you are at now. You've also had 4 cards jump out for what you are focusing on. So there's a good possibility that 4 is going to figure prominently for you in the month of July. Getting back to this Page of Wands. Page of Wands is about naivety. It is about taking action. It's about moving forward in your life without being able to see the outcome. You have the Hanged Man. This fits in perfectly with what we've just been saying about where you are at now and what you are moving into. You are moving into being able to see things from a different perspective. That's what the Hanged Man is all about. It's about being able to see the bigger picture. Now, remember, before I ever even pulled these cards, and I didn't actually pull the cards, of course, they jumped out, which to me gives them that deeper meaning. I had already said, based on a download, that this was about you being able to see the bigger picture even though those people who may be challenging you and your decisions and your healthy choices right now are coming from a very sheltered or blinders on type view. And now, in what you are focusing on is the Hanged Man. And this is about seeing things from a different perspective. It's about seeing the bigger picture. You do have the Seven of Swords coming in here. The Seven of Swords is a card of deception and deceit. Now, of course, we don't when this card comes up in what we are focusing on, what we are working towards manifesting, we obviously are not working towards manifesting someone who is bringing deception or deceit into our lives. What this card means in this position in your reading is that you are working towards manifesting, sussing out who is not being honest, who is not being authentic with me, who is perhaps trying to deceive me. Do I need to set new boundaries around this person? This card was right next to the Hanged Man as well, which is really, really important, indicating that you have the ability to be able to see things on a different level, including deception and deceit at this time, Cancer. And then again, you have the Nine of Wands. This is the second appearance of the Nine of Wands in your reading, thus indicating that there is a sense of feeling like you're going into some kind of battle. But I do want to say, again, I feel like this is not so much a battle per se, and I put battle in quotation marks there. It's less of a battle and more about spiritual growth, spiritual health, personal development. It's about setting new boundaries with people. So, yeah, it looks like July is going to be a very good month for you with some leaps and bounds with regards to your personal health and personal development. Let's look at what is challenging you. No, I'm getting called over here. All right. And I do listen. All right. What is coming up for difficult influences and challenges for Cancer for the month of July? What's coming up here? Okay, so we have two. Oh, perhaps we're going to have a couple more cards. So you'll notice as I drop the cards, we have several cards that did not go back into the deck. So we will pull those out as well. So the very first card that came out for you, Cancer, is the Four of Winter. Four of Winter is corresponds to the Four of Swords. And this is the card that I like to call the Little Hermit or the Quiet Hermit. This is a card that has a very similar meaning to the Hermit, which comes into us from the Major Arcana. This is in the Minor Arcana, so the energy isn't quite so big and powerful and in your face, but it has a similar meaning. And that similar meaning is that you may be feeling like you want to withdraw. You want to go into a place of quiet contemplation. Oh my goodness, the world is too big. It's too overwhelming. I have decisions and choices I need to make at this time. I'm going to just withdraw into my little hole in the tree or into my home and take some time for myself. The problem is, Cancer, this card came out in your difficult influences. What is that telling me? Is telling me that you are resisting spending that valuable, let me repeat that again, that valuable time on your own. There's a lot of people that when they enter the space of personal development and self healing and supporting themselves and creating new boundaries, they feel like it's selfish to take time for themselves. And I want to reassure you, Cancer, that is not the case. Nothing could be farther from the truth. That is a fallacy that some people sitting in an ivory tower somewhere put down on humanity as a whole, that you're selfish if you take time for yourself. That is a fallacy. Please do not buy into that belief system. Taking 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day to withdraw completely from society, to withdraw completely from the screens, the external influences, the voices in our heads telling us what to do and how we should live, that is not selfish, that is self-care. So you're going to want to dig deeply into that practice during the month of July. Now, for those of you who don't know Cancer, I am a psychic, I am a tarot reader, but I am also a certified counselor and a certified hypnotherapist and past life regressionist with more than 20 years experience. And that's why my tarot readings and psychic readings sometimes move into also being counseling sessions with tidbits and important information and suggestions about how to change and shift our lives. So, if you are interested in booking a private consultation with me, seeing as this is a general reading, if you would like to delve deeper into your own personal situation, I'll leave all my contact details down below. Let's continue on what's coming up for you. You have the five of the five of summer. The five of summer corresponds to the five of cups, and it indicates that in your relationships, something is changing and shifting and it's uncomfortable. Now, we had already picked up on that at the beginning of your reading, Cancer, that you were feeling like you were being challenged. You were feeling like people were not seeing that you were setting healthy boundaries for yourself. And so this is about changing and shifting dynamics in your relationships at this time that may feel uncomfortable, but are still necessary. Also, in your difficult influences, you have the Seven of Spring. This is the Seven of Wands. And you'll notice at the bottom, the main message, hopefully that will come in, is be assertive. Be assertive. So, this card coming up in your difficult influences is indicating that your boundaries may be a little wishy washy. Be on the lookout for that. And if you find that your boundaries are a little bit wishy washy, well, dip back into this Four of Swords, Four of Winter, dip back into this Hermit energy and re-embrace your power of self and set some new boundaries for yourself. You have the Ace of Autumn. This is corresponding to the Ace of Pentacles. This is a card of new beginnings with regards to things that are earthly, work, money, those types of things. Potentially housing. Where did that come from? Okay, so potentially a living situation might be challenging you at this time. You might be looking at your living situation and thinking, wow, okay, maybe I need to change my living situation because I've got all these new boundaries. So that might be just a little seed that's beginning to be planted for you, Cancer. And finally, in your difficult influences, you have the Sun. The Sun is considered the happiest card. There's 78 cards in the tarot, and this is the happiest card in the entire deck. And you got it in your difficult influences. Ah! Basically, what this means is you are not taking time and allowing yourself the opportunity to truly experience happiness at this time. What this is telling me is happiness is yours. You can have it right here, right now. But you're thinking, I don't know if I deserve that. Be on the lookout for those kinds of energies coming in. Let's take a look at messages from the universe. Messages from the universe for Cancer. Oh my goodness, you have a lot of messages. Yep, and we have another situation with a card that's not dropping back in. Oh my goodness. I believe you have 5 messages here. Understand your body. Understand your body. Uh-huh. The importance, I'm just pulling your other cards here because they went flying. This card is important because It's a call towards paying closer attention to our intuition. Most of the time, intuition comes up for us in our bodies. So, some people will describe intuition as butterflies in the stomach, perhaps, oh my goodness, heart palpitation. For me, it's usually a download where I begin to use language that I wouldn't normally use. I would use words that are outside of my normal vocabulary. So understand your body. The other thing that I want to say, Cancer, is that when the understand your body message comes up in any of the readings, it is also a call towards paying closer attention to your physical health. So during the month of July, pay close attention to your physical health. This includes, okay, here we go. We have to do all this disclaimer stuff nowadays. I am not a medical doctor. I am not a certified nutritionist. I can't give you formal health advice. What I am going to provide to you right now is common sense advice. Common sense advice. If you are in the northern hemisphere, you're experiencing summer, the weather is warmer, the temperatures are up there, you're sweating more. Drink lots of good, high quality, clean water. Keep yourself hydrated. Common sense, right? With regards to nutrition at this time during the month of July, you are going to want to make sure that you're eating lots of fruits and vegetables. Eat what is in season in your area. All right, Cancer, we're going to move on from there. Journey within. Have you already received this message from the universe in this reading? Yes, absolutely, you did. With this Four of Winter or Four of Swords, the little hermit, journey within, right? So you're being double reinforced here that you are supposed to be spending some more time in quiet contemplation and really learning who you are, Cancer. Oh, learning who you are? Be yourself. Another message from the universe. Never judge another. That's a pretty important message from the universe, right? Do I really need to expound upon this one? Do I need to expand upon this one? No, not really. Don't judge. Don't be a judge. Don't judgy. And finally, messages from the universe. You have don't relinquish your power. Setting boundaries is about holding on to your power. Not setting boundaries is about relinquishing your power. And I really want to say that a lot of this reading is about your spiritual growth, your healthy boundaries. And that can be, what's the word I want to say? It can be a different path to walk when we begin to set healthy boundaries for ourselves. And because the vast majority of us cancers are people pleasers. Cancers in particular are people pleasers. And you want people to like you. But when you set boundaries, people sometimes don't like you. I'm getting this download. I'm getting this download because I just saw it the other day as well. And I think that it's perfectly relevant to this reading for you, Cancer. And that is the only people who will be angry at you for setting boundaries are those who were benefiting from you not having any boundaries. Think about that and let that sink in for a minute. The only people who are angry about you and challenging you about setting and holding boundaries are the people who were benefiting from you not having any. Seven of Swords here, deception and deceit. Wow. Your whole reading just went and came together. Let's take a look at what is unexpected for you. I'm getting called over here to this deck. unexpected for Cancer. Oh my gosh, this reading is just, yeah. I mean, everything is kind of falling into place here in this reading for you, Cancer. Saved it from going on the floor. Oh, and that one didn't go on the floor either. Yay. I love it when you don't go on the floor. All right. In your unexpected, you have the Four of Cups in the reverse position. There's no two ways about it. It didn't even land slightly on an angle. It landed full on upside down in the reverse position. And you have the Two of Pentacles in your unexpected. The Two of Pentacles in your unexpected is about needing to make a decision about something that is earthly. The Suit of Pentacles is, of course, ruled by the element of earth, and so it deals with the earthly realm, including money, career, housing situation, where we're going to live. It can involve a large asset, such as a house, potentially a large asset such as a car as well. And this card is saying unexpectedly at some point in July, you will be needing to make an important decision about an earthly matter, money, finances, career, or your housing situation. Now, Four of Cups coming up in your unexpected. The Four of Cups is a card of postponement. And in fact, over here in the Osho Zen deck, the Four of Cups is called postponement, strangely enough. And if you are interested, by the way, in any of the decks that I use, I'll leave some affiliate links in the description down below. So moving on, the Four of Cups is a card of postponement. It's a card of having been in a place of anticipation. Oh, something big is going to happen, and then it doesn't happen as expected. Now, that's not to say that it's not going to happen, but it's being delayed or it's being pushed forward, and that's creating a little bit of a sense of disappointment. But here's the thing: when you are forewarned, you are forearmed. So that's why we do tarot readings. That's why we dip into readings such as this, right, Cancer? Because we want to know what's coming down the pipes at us. What's coming down the pipes at you at this time is a delay in something that you're working towards manifesting. Is it going to create some disappointment for you? Maybe a little bit. Is it the end of the world and the Tower card coming up? Absolutely not. It's just saying it's being postponed. And a lot of the times things can be postponed for our own highest good. I'm going to mention something that people sometimes don't think about. And it just came in as a download for me. And that is sometimes, let's say, for example, we get caught in a traffic jam on our way home from work. We're like, traffic jam. And then we realize once we get home that the delay that we experienced saved our lives because there was a really huge, serious accident. So let's say, for example, you're at work, you're getting ready to go out the door, and the boss says, "Oh, could you wait 5 minutes? I just have one more thing that I need to pile on your desk for you." And you're like, "Arr." And you're all angry and you're all upset about it. And you're self-righteous about it. And then you go out and you get in your car and you're sitting in a traffic jam and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh my God, if my boss hadn't asked me to do this, I wouldn't be sitting in this traffic jam." And then you find out that had you left the office 5 minutes sooner, you would have been in the 20-car pileup that's a mile down the road. Right? So I tell you that because that's the energy of this card, that something is being delayed at this time for your highest good. And you may not be able to see the reasons why it's being delayed. You may not be able to see right in the here and now why. Like, why did my boss hold me up? I had something I wanted to get to. My kid's recital was tonight, and now I'm stuck in this traffic jam because The universe sent you that delay in order to save you the hassles of having been involved in the accident instead of just being delayed by the accident. Do you see how the universe works? Sometimes when we're caught up in the moment of something very emotional happening to us, we can't see the bigger picture. But you have the hanged man here in what you are focusing on manifesting, which is your ability to be able to see things from the bigger perspective. So it's all kind of coming around full circle here for you, Cancer. Final general overall outcome. Where are we going? We're going over here. Final general overall outcome, Cancer. All right. You only have, I can speak English, honestly. You only have one card coming out in your final general overall outcome, and that is creativity. This card is all about boundaries, about going within in order to be able to make decisions. It's about being yourself. It's about journeying within. It's, yeah, this is a card of manifestation. It's about creating the life that you want. That includes setting boundaries. It includes being creative, includes journeying within, includes being yourself. And with that, I'm going to leave off your reading, Cancer. Thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you in August. Please like and subscribe.